Chapter 295. At this time, a manager dressed in a suit hurried over as soon as he heard the commotion. There was a group of sturdy and muscular bodyguards following closely behind him. What is happening? Who is causing a commotion here? When Albert saw the manager, he asked him arrogantly, "Are you the person in charge?" "Yes." The man nodded before he continued speaking, "I am the executive manager of the auto show exhibition. My name is Tom Hardy." "You are?" Albert snorted before he said, "I am Albert Warner, the owner of the Ores Hill Convention and Exhibition Center." Tom nodded slightly before he replied, "So, you are Mr. Warner. What is the matter?" Albert spoke to him coldly, "Your subordinates are truly very incapable. I want to go up to the platform so that I can take a closer look at the cars, but he refused to let me do so." "What do you mean by that? Are you looking down on me?" Tom smiled before he replied, "Sorry, Mr. Warner, but these two cars have already been bought by a customer. We are just waiting for the customer to pick up the cars. Since these two cars are so rare and expensive, we cannot allow just anyone to touch the cars if they are not the owner." Albert frowned before he said, "Does that mean you are not going to give me face as well?" "I am really sorry, Mr. Warner," Tom replied immediately. "I cannot give face to anyone on this matter. We have received very specific instructions that no one is allowed to touch those two cars as long as they are not the owner of the cars." Albert was extremely furious. He could not believe that Tom would turn down his request in front of so many people, especially since Emma was also here right now. He was furious. Well, they could not blame him for going crazy, then. Albert shouted angrily, "Okay. Since you are so powerful, I believe that our small exhibition center is too small to accommodate you. Please take all your cars and leave the exhibition hall immediately." Tom replied, "Mr. Warner, don't you think that this is too much? We have already signed the contract, and we have already paid up front for the rental of this exhibition hall. Do you really want to breach the contract?" "So what if I choose to breach the contract?" Albert replied in annoyance. "I would rather pay you the liquidated damages as long as I can get rid of you immediately." At this time, Christiana hurriedly persuaded Albert in a low voice, "Mr. Warner, if we breach the contract, we will have to pay 3 times the amount that the other party has paid for the rental of the exhibition hall. If the chairman finds out about this matter, he will surely be angry." Albert was stunned again. Alex laughed as he said, "Mr. Warner, do you mean to tell me that someone of your status cannot even touch those two cars at all? Is it honestly that difficult for you to touch the cars? To think that you are the general manager of the Ores Hill Convention and Exhibition Center. This is such a shame." Albert replied angrily, "Who said that I cannot touch those cars?" After he was done speaking, Albert turned around and pushed Tom aside before saying, "I will touch those two cars today no matter what happens. If you do not want to cause any trouble, you'd better stand aside. Otherwise, I will definitely teach you a lesson." Tom was very anxious when he saw Albert rushing toward the limited edition Ferrari 250 GTO. He hurriedly called for the security guards to stop him. Albert did not expect that the security guards would really try to stop him. Therefore, he yelled out loudly, "I want all the security guards in the exhibition center to come over to me now." Even though the security guards who were guarding the cars were hired from an external party, there were a lot of security guards working for the exhibition center itself. Who was afraid of whom? When Tom saw the security guards working for the exhibition center running toward them, he called Matthew immediately because he was afraid that there would be a conflict.